Well, a warm welcome back to the Meadowbank Stadium. It's a delightful afternoon here now. We've had a few rain showers in the earlier part of the day, but blue skies, some cloud as well. There is a bit of a swirling wind out there too, but a very pleasant afternoon here now as Dorking Wanderers, of course, face Bromley, and you can just sense the anticipation ahead of this clash in what will prove to be another very difficult game for Dorking Wanderers. There are no easy games in the National League, but they're playing a Bromley side who, of course, are on the cusp of automatic qualification for the playoff semi-finals. And Dorking Wanderers heading into this game, of course, having suffered that 6-0 defeat at Barnet last weekend. And a number of changes made by Mark White this afternoon following that horrific defeat at the Hive. 4 changes made for Dorking Wanderers, with Bobby Joe Taylor, Luke Moore, Hayden Hollis and Barry Fuller coming into the starting lineup. Barry Fuller, the Dorking Wanderers skipper, wearing the armband once again this afternoon, and that means that Alfie Rutherford and Tom Blair drop to the bench. As for Bromley, they also make 4 changes as well to the side that were beaten 2-0 at home by an improving York City last weekend. And we are just, about a couple of minutes or so away from kick-off. Aaron Cool and Isaac Philpott, of course, both recalled from their respective loan clubs back into the Dorking Wanderers fold this afternoon. George Frankham and Dan Piper still missing out through tendinitis. Just touching on Bromley again, of course, what an impressive season they've had, currently sitting 3rd in the table, on the brink of an appearance at Wembley as well, having made it through to the last 4 of the FA Trophy. They've only been beaten once in their last 6 National League outings, but of course that was last weekend when losing to York City. In between the sticks for Bromley this afternoon is Lewis Thomas, who makes just his 2nd appearance for the club. Regular stopper Grant Smith, of course, still suspended following his recent red card at Wealdstone. And I'm delighted to say that sitting alongside me this afternoon to provide his analysis during the course of our full match commentary here, it's Bob Papworth. Bob, interesting clash this.
Yeah, it is.
And a difficult one, as we've alluded to, for Dorking Wanderers.
Yeah, sorry there, Chris, for overstepping the mark there. Yes, it's going to be a very interesting game this afternoon for both teams. Both of them have their reasons to score 3 points. Dorking to get out of the relegation zone, and Bromley, well, to improve their chances of getting a home berth in the playoffs.
And we're nearly set for a start here. It's going to be the visitors, Bromley, who will be getting us underway here. A packed crowd this afternoon at the Meadowbank Stadium. Plenty have made the trip from southeast London as we're up and running, and Bromley attacking the goal to our right in the first half and playing in their away strip of well, a mixed colours, the blue and purple shirts, similar shorts and black socks, and Dorking Wanderers, of course, in their oh so familiar home colours of red and white vertically striped shirts, blue shorts and red socks. And immediately the ball has gone out of play away to our right hand side for a goal kick to Dorking Wanderers, which is taken very quickly by Harrison Mail. Josh Taylor now feeds it back to Tony Craig, who in turn lays it back now to Harrison Mail, who drives it forward, finding Josh Taylor. Taylor to Charlie Carter, and the ball's drifted out of the play and a throw in for Bromley now, midway inside the Dorking Wanderers half on that far side. Live commentary here on BBC Radio Surrey Sport, of course online and on the mobile app as well. What do you make of Dorking's recent performances, Bob? Of course, that thrashing at Barnet last week, but they picked up a good point at home to Solihull Moors, which of course I believe you were here for a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, well, I was here for that game, and boy, to begin with, I didn't think that first half was ever going to end. 60 minutes due to a number of injuries to both sides, but yeah, good result against Solihull Moors. They could have done better perhaps when Solihull Moors were reduced to 10 men, but they didn't take advantage, and but at least they got a point.
Dorking have it now with Charlie Carter, right-footed, lays it up. A little bit too much pace on the pass for Niall McManus to react, and Byron Webster, the Bromley skipper, just lays it back to his keeper. 36 years of age now, Byron Webster. Began his career in the youth ranks at York City, where he started out as a striker. Plenty of Football League experience as well for the Bromley skipper, having played for Millwall and Yeovil, among others. So just over 2 minutes played here, and it remains Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 0. We'll of course keep you up to date with all of the other latest scores in the National League, as Dorking Wanderers have a throw on the halfway line, taken by Barry Fuller away on that far side. Down the line it goes. It's cleared away by Bromley up towards Olamola, but Dorking Wanderers have it again now with Niall McManus, who stoops low, heads it down. There's Bobby Joe Taylor now on that right hand side, parallel to the edge of the 18-yard box, looking to get past Idris Oduteo, but he ran into traffic, and Bromley now will bring it away. Niall McManus gets a foot in though and recovers possession for Dorking Wanderers. Luke Moore has it now, but free kick has gone the way of the Ravens on their left, about 12 yards or so inside their own half. As we mentioned earlier, no easy games of course in the National League, and just looking at Dorking Wanderers run in, Bob, on Monday, of course a big game at Aldershot. As the ball is up in the air, Michael Cheek just heads it down and is laid forward by Seb Bauman. Yeah, difficult game on Monday, Bob. Aldershot, of course, on Bank Holiday Monday. Then they've got Altrincham at home, Wealdstone away, Rochdale away, Hartlepool at home as well on the final day of the season. Yeah,
certainly they've be pleased if they can get 3 points from each game. I think that's going to be a bit out of their reach, but certainly if they can pick some points up against those top sides that are looking for a playoff spot, then that would be quite happy, I'm sure Mark White would be.
And Bromley have it now with their skipper Byron Webster. Of course, Dorking Wanderers 4 points clear of safety going into this match. They really can ill afford to lose this afternoon and drop further behind if they're to keep their survival hopes alive, as Niall McManus now brings it past the halfway line on their left flank. Short pass forward to Seb Bauman, back to McManus again. McManus with a cursory glance up, lays it back to his back to Tony Craig. Craig now out to that right hand side, picking out his skipper Barry Fuller. Barry Fuller shadowed by Olamola, and the ball's deflected off a Bromley shirt, and a throw in for Dorking Wanderers on that far side on the halfway line.
Yeah, good catch there by Andy Woodman, their Bromley manager, who was a goalkeeper in his time.
Yep, he arrived at the club in March 2021. Andy Woodman, highly experienced coach as well, and won his first trophy as a manager, of course, when the Ravens won the FA Trophy a couple of seasons ago. What a momentous occasion that was for their supporters. So we're past the 5-minute mark here, and neither keeper yet to be tested, and it remains Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 0. Live commentary here on BBC Radio Surrey Sport, online and on the mobile app. I can tell you that Maidenhead United have taken the lead at home to Aldershot. Bobby Joe Taylor now has it on that right hand side. Again, looking to get the cross in. It's a low one, and it's drifted through any number of players, and unfortunately for Dorking Wanderers, Seb Bauman was there but couldn't control the ball, and Bromley were able to clear the danger. It's now with Ben Crowhouse for Bromley, a product of the Bromley FC Youth Academy. Now is Alex Kirk. Squares it out to that left-hand side. Ball's gone forward. Tony Craig is there to clear it away for Dorking Wanderers. He's in there with a header as well. Charlie Carter looking to flick it on. Final touch came off a red and white shirt, and Bromley have a throw in on the halfway line as they look to advance now on that left-hand side. Ball's crossed in, it's deflected off a red and white shirt. Josh Taylor picks up the loose ball, brings it away up towards Bobby Joe Taylor, and now Barry Fuller midway inside his own half, up to the halfway line, and Jason Pryor appealing to the referee there because he thought that he'd been dragged to the floor. But the referee this afternoon, Aaron Farmer, wasn't interested and waved play on, and the free kick wasn't given. Just hearing now that Aldershot trailing by 2-0 at York Road against Maidenhead United. So a really poor start for Tommy Witherington's side.
And the thing is there with that scoreline, not a great reading for any Dorking Wanderers fans, because obviously Maidenhead are in the mix for the top zone, and the last thing Dorking want is them to grab 3 points this afternoon, pull them away from the bottom 4.
Yeah, absolutely, Bob. I mean, number of sides, of course, in the relegation mix at the moment. Eastleigh, York City, of course, as well, still in danger. Borehamwood, Kidderminster, Ebbsfleet United, still very tight at the bottom of the National League table. As the ball is pumped forward by Bromley, up to the edge of the 18-yard box. Olamola just hooks it back to Oduteo, and it's gone back to Callum Reynolds, who now lays it back to Lewis Thomas in between the sticks this afternoon for Bromley. Here's Byron Webster now with a long ball from right to left. York City trailing at home to Chesterfield by a 0-0. And Dagenham and Redbridge won up at Borehamwood as well. So a couple of results going the way of Dorking Wanderers in the other matches taking place in the National League. But of course, they will be looking to secure the points this afternoon at home to a very strong Bromley side. And Michael Cheek now has it, but drags his shot wide. And Solihull Moors are leading Barnet by a 0-0 as well. Of course, that clash at the top of the National League table. Michael Cheek, who scored his 100th goal for Bromley in their recent victory at Wealdstone, and he's going to be a threat this afternoon for Dorking Wanderers, but that was a poor shot by his standards, and it failed to trouble Harrison Mayle. Luke Moore now brings it up to the halfway line, looking to pick out Bobby Joe Taylor, and that's a great ball from Luke Moore, and Bobby Joe Taylor gets past Oduteo and wins a corner for Dorking Wanderers. But a great pass there from Luke Moore, Bob, and some tenacity there from Bobby Joe Taylor.
Yeah, most certainly very promising there down the right-hand side. Bobby Joe Taylor just couldn't get past the Bromley defender, but they've secured a corner. Let's see what they can make of this.
So Bobby Joe Taylor delivers the corner. It's punched clear by Lewis Thomas, only up to the edge of the 18-yard box, and then hooked away by Corey Whiteley up to the halfway line. Barry Fuller's there with a header downwards. But Bromley have it again now, midway inside their own half. Here's Corey Whiteley now on this right-hand side, being shadowed by Seb Bauman as he looks to get past him. Still with Bromley. Here's Alex Kirk now, back to his skipper Byron Webster. Webster forward, looking for Ben Crowhouse, finds him, and now on that left-hand side, Callum Reynolds will bring it forward. Squares it to Whiteley. Whiteley up to the 18-yard box. Found Olamola, who tried to lay it back to Michael Cheek, but they won't be able to create anything there, Bromley, and Dorking Wanderers have themselves a throw on that far side, midway inside their own half, with approaching 11.5 minutes played here, and it remains Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 0.
You mentioned earlier about Ben Crowhouse coming up through the Bromley Academy. So much so that he's been made such an impressive situation within the first team. He's actually now been signed by Brentford, and Brentford have loaned him back to Bromley for the rest of the season. So that shows you that there are Premier League sides interested in players at this sort of level for the future.
A real young talent, Ben Crowhouse, just 21 years of age, as Dorking Wanderers had a free kick on the halfway line there, taken by Barry Fuller. Cleared away by Bromley, but Dorking Wanderers have it again now. Fuller just inside his own half on that right-hand side forward, but that was a loose pass there from the Dorking Wanderers skipper, and Callum Reynolds will just guide that out of play as Charlie Carter threatened. And it'll be a goal kick then for Bromley. And of course have that big semi-final clash against Solihull Moors coming up in the semi-finals of the FA Trophy as they look to book their place at Wembley. That match takes place a week today, and of course Gateshead and Macclesfield battling it out in the other semi for a place in the final as the ball bounces around the halfway line, headed forward by Tony Craig. And now Corey Whiteley has it, and a bit of space here for Michael Cheek. Michael Cheek, plenty of time, plenty of space, right-footed, guides his shot beyond Harrison Mayle from just outside the 6-yard area. And with approaching 13.5 minutes played here, the deadlock is broken. And it's Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley FC 1.
Yeah, that move kind of like from Dorking broke down to the halfway line. There was a clear push by Bromley captain Byron Webster on Jason Pryor. The referee didn't give anything away for it. Jason Pryor was obviously frustrated and arguing that there should have been a free kick, and then from that Bromley managed to break, did a few great moves, and yeah, Cheek scoring his 101st goal now for Bromley.
As the flares are set alight away to our left-hand side, and at the moment the Dorking Wanderers player still arguing with referee Aaron Farmer. Barry Fuller just making his protestations known as well. And someone's gone in the book, and I think it might be possibly Jason Pryor. Will confirm that very, very shortly for you. But Dorking Wanderers behind here as we approach the 15-minute mark. So not the start that Mark White would have wanted. And how will Wanderers respond now as Luke Moore plays it forward, looking to pick out Jason Pryor? It's headed away. Unfortunately, it's not, Rob, because with 15 minutes played here, it's Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 1. There was a little bit of controversy as Jason Pryor believed that he'd been fouled and the referee didn't give the free kick, and Bromley took advantage as they moved the ball forward, and it fell to Michael Cheek from just outside the 6-yard box, and he guided a right-footed shot beyond Harrison Mayle into the bottom right-hand corner. So Dorking Wanderers up against it once again here at the Meadowbank Stadium. They trail here. It's Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 1.
And coming back to that goal and the build-up to it, Jason Pryor's got himself in the book with the referee there for protesting and obviously for dissent. So clearly, it looks like you can push the player and not necessarily be awarded a free kick based on what we saw earlier. But yeah, Jason's in the book. And yeah, Dorking will probably feel hard done by on 2 counts, one for being booked and one for having conceding a goal when it shouldn't have been.
Well, they're on the attack here on that right-hand side with Charlie Carter now on the right flank. Guessing a low cross, Jason Pryor was there. It might have just flicked off his head, but it bounced off a Bromley shirt, and the Ravens managed to clear it up to the halfway line, and the danger is cleared. But it's just a case of Dorking Wanderers just keeping their composure, really, Bob, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. that's the thing, isn't it? That hopefully their heads won't be down following that, but Dorking are trying to sneak a throw in a bit further up the pitch than the referee will allow them to. But yes, a bit of a bitter pill to swallow there. It's going 1-0 down so early in the game, but also when you thought that it should have been a foul.
Yeah, so Jason Pryor in the book, and that was one of the main talking points, of course, off the back of that heavy defeat at Barnet last weekend, was Dorking Wanderers' lack of discipline.
It was, yes. Obviously I wasn't there, but maybe you could possibly in some ways understand Jason's frustration, because things aren't going Dorking's way.
Seb Baumann just getting in across from the left hand side there, but it was straight into the gloves of Lewis Thompson. And at the moment, Bromley leading here by a goal to nil. Michael Cheek with his 101st goal for the Ravens, and they look fairly comfortable at the moment for that lead. Here's Luke Moore now. Back to Baumann. Baumann right-footed, but couldn't pick out a red and white shirt, and is headed on by Callum Reynolds. Barry Fuller gets across to pick up the ball and finds Bobby Joe Taylor. Here's Josh Taylor. Falls to late, back to Tony Craig, and Craig under pressure there from Michael Cheek with a rather rushed clearance, and a throw-in for Bromley midway inside the Dorking Wanderers half on that far touchline. 18 minutes played here, live commentary on BBC Radio Surrey Sport, online and on the mobile app. As Bromley look to line up this throw-in. It's gone all the way back to Byron Webster, and Webster all the way back to Lewis Thomas now, decked out in all orange this afternoon. The Ravens keeper, a little flick on there from Bromley, but Tony Craig is across to head it away, and then hooked further forward there by Niall McManus. Jude Arthur's just dispossessed there now, and Tony Craig with the ball midway inside his own half in the centre of the park, out to that right hand side to Barry Fuller. Fuller forward again, but again a misplaced pass, and it's been symptomatic of Dorking's afternoon so far.
Yeah, that pass was a bit too strong, but yeah, things just aren't ticking quite rightly for Dorking so far this afternoon. They need a little bit of a creative spark, Dorking Wanderers, to get themselves going, because it's been a fairly pedestrian performance from them this afternoon. Lewis Thomas, the Bromley keeper, hasn't had a save to make. To be fair, I guess Bromley have only had one clear-cut opportunity, and they took full advantage of that, with Michael Cheek guiding his shot beyond Harrison Mail to give the Ravens the lead, and that's the only goal of the game so far, with just over 20 minutes played here. Charlie Carter onto Jason Pryor. Jason Pryor crowded out by 3 Bromley shirts, and Bromley will look to move the ball forward again here, and on this right hand side it's now with Jude Arthurs. Arthurs looks up, gets in across on the right hand side to the far post, but he overcooked that one a little bit, and that's gone out of play for a goal kick to Dorking Wanderers. Yeah, looking at the formation down there, Jason Pryor's been marked pretty much all the game so far by their captain Byron Webster. I mean, Jason Pryor's quite a tall man himself, but Byron Webster's got probably a few inches on Jason Pryor. That's going to be quite a lively contest for the rest of this afternoon, I think. Now on that far side is Josh Taylor, who will bring it forward up to the byline, lays it back now to Bobby Joe Taylor. And Bobby Joe Taylor dispossessed there by Corey Whiteley, who tracked back really well there, the Bromley midfielder, and recovered possession for the visitors. But Dorking Wanderers have it again now, and we'll look to build once again with Hayden Hollis up to Niall McManus inside the centre circle. Niall McManus, a short pass forward to Charlie Carter. Carter has Jason Pryor to his left. Pryor now just arriving in the box. Bobby Joe Taylor combining with Barry Fuller on that right flank. Niall McManus looks for it, receives it,
And drifts inside into the 18-yard box, and well, he skipped past a couple of challenges there, Niall McManus, and then a decent left-footed shot, but it was straight at the keeper.
Yep, clearly the best chance for Dorking, probably their only chance actually, but yeah, Lewis Thomas was equal to it, straight at him, and he was able to catch it quite comfortably and ease any concerns in the Bromley defence. Ashley
Charles now has it, midway inside the Dorking Wanderers half, and then looks to pick out Michael Cheek, who made a good run, but Dorking defended well, and Hayden Hollis showed far too much of that to Ben Crowhouse. And again, Dorking Wanderers putting pressure on themselves there, and they're giving away a corner.
Yeah, they have, and I'm just watching Mark White in the dugout on the other side. He's not very happy, put it mildly, with what Hayden Hollis did there. I mean, it was a bit of a schoolboy error in the sense that he tried to pass it back to his goalkeeper, but it was nowhere near Harrison Male and ended up going out for a corner, so putting even more pressure now on the Dorking defence as if they don't need it.
So it's Idris Oduteo who just trots over, places the ball down on the quadrant away to our right-hand side. Being obscured by the Dorking Wanderers packing the perimeter of the pitch here, and it's headed away for another corner, I think, by Jason Pryor there, doing his defensive duties. So Bromley with a second chance here, as Oduteo lines it up again. In it goes, and at the far post it's cleared away, and Dorking Wanderers look to break, but Bromley tracking back well and recover possession. Oduteo with a little header on there, but straight into the gloves of Harrison Male, who wastes no time and rolls it out now to Barry Fuller. Fuller tries to release Josh Taylor, but again that ball's just drifted out of the play, and a throw in for Bromley deep inside their own half on that far side.
Yeah, and Mark White in the bench is giving Barry Fuller some instructions onto what he should be doing. You'd think someone of Barry Fuller's experience needs very little in the way of advice, but clearly Mark feels that they're not doing the job he wants them to do.
Josh Taylor heads it on now. Jason Pryor picks it up, finds Luke Moore. Luke Moore now forward to Charlie Carter. Carter turns past his man well, picks out Niall McManus. McManus looking for options, finds Luke Moore again, just outside the box. Luke Moore cuts inside, finds Charlie Carter now, but Bromley back in numbers, defending well. And well, Charlie Carter went down there, and appeals from the Dorking Wanderers supporters in front of us for a free kick, but the referee wasn't interested. And Bromley have it again. 25 minutes played here at the Meadowbank Stadium, and it remains Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 1. Michael Cheek's goal in the 14th minute dividing the two sides, and of course a big goal for from Bromley's point of view as they look to consolidate their third place position. It's on the edge of the 18-yard box as Michael Cheek passes it forward, but Dorking Wanderers clear it away, and Byron Webster now will pick up the loose ball for Bromley up to the halfway line, picking out Alex Kirk. Alex Kirk now brings it forward, and well, I think he was looking for Olufelu Olamola, but too much height on that pass, and Dorking Wanderers were able to get it away. But again, far too easily dispossessed Mark Whiteside, and a shot comes in from distance there from Corey Whiteley, and it was a decent one, right-footed, and it was gathered well by Harrison Male. But again, they're really at 6s and 7s at the moment, Dorking Wanderers, as the cross comes in from Oduteo, and Hayden Hollis gives it away, and Michael Cheek with a shot from point-blank range. Fortunately for Dorking Wanderers, it was pretty much at Harrison Male, but the Dorking Wanderers keeper still had the save to make there. But what a horrendous mistake there from Hayden Hollis, and very nearly gifting Michael Cheek and Bromley a second goal there.
Well, yeah, the last couple of minutes actually have been quite nerve-wracking. I'd love to know what Mark White's pulse rate is currently, or heart rate, because it can't be very low based on what he's seen and what he's trying to get his side to do, because they just, as you say, are at 6s and 7s at present.
Dorking Wanderers now have it on their right flank, deep inside the Bromley half, and they won themselves a throw, just about, what, 6 or 7 yards or so in from the corner flag on that far side, and this will be no doubt launched in now by Josh Taylor. Yep. But yeah, Mark White's side certainly have been lacking any kind of cutting edge in that final third of the field this afternoon. Far too many misplaced passes. But let's see what they can do here. There's plenty of red and white shirts arriving from the back here. Hayden Hollis is up there as the throwing comes in from Josh Taylor. Headed clear by Bromley, only as far as Bobby Joe Taylor, who picks it up now. He gets in across, and, well, Jason Pryor was lurking, but it was easily gathered by Lewis Thomas, who releases it quickly. Tries to find Corey Whiteley, and the ball is guided out of play there by Niall McManus, away to our right-hand side, deep inside the Dorking Wanderers half. As Hayden Hollis tries to gain a few more yards advantage here, but the referee, Aaron Farmer, directing him back a few yards. Jason Pryor competing for the ball there with Alex Kirk, and Wanderers have themselves another throw in right in front of us here as we sit in the Stonegate home stand. Hayden Hollis just rolls the ball around in the palm of his hands, just a few yards inside his own half. Down the lines it goes. Jason Pryor again having his shirt tugged there by Ben Crowhouse, but no free kick given, and Charlie Carter picks it up now away on that left hand side. McManus has it, looks up, short pass to Carter. Carter now back to Hayden Hollis. Hollis squares it to Tony Craig just outside the centre circle. Barry Fuller now on the halfway line, up Bobby Joe Taylor. It's Tony Craig again to McManus in the centre circle. He finds Hayden Hollis on this left hand side. Hollis now to Jason Pryor. Good first touch there from Pryor. Back now to Josh Taylor, who has a bit of space to bring it forward now for Dorking Wanderers. Josh Taylor picks out Barry Fuller on that right hand side. Back to Taylor again. McManus now midway inside the Bromley half. And Charlie Carter turns past his man well and brings it forward, but ran into too many Bromley shirts, and now the Ravens will bring it forward. There's Olamola out to that left hand side, looking for Whiteley, and the ball deflects off Josh Taylor, and a throw-in for Bromley about 3 or 4 yards or so inside the Dorking Wanderers half as we reach the half-hour mark here. And Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 1 is how it remains. Michael Cheek's goal in the 14th minute still separates the two sides. Live commentary here on BBC Radio Surrey Sport, online and on the mobile app. And just a bit of lack of atmosphere at the moment around here at the moment, Bob.
There is, yes, and I suppose Bromley have got their one goal lead. They're going to be quite content just to see what they can do, you know, make the odd incursion into Dorking's half, see if they can get an extra goal. But certainly defensively, Bromley have been very good and have given very little away. Alex Kirk now has it on that far side and gets past Luke Moore, gets in across on the left hand side. Seb Bauman clears it away, but again it's given away by Dorking Wanderers, and the header comes in from Jude Arthurs. It was a diving header, glanced off his head, and he couldn't quite direct it towards goal. But again, some really sloppy defending from Dorking Wanderers. Yeah, it was indeed, and again another get out of jail card used there for Dorking. following their very lackadaisical defending there. But yeah, Bromley, they're in the box seat. They're happy with the way things going. They don't seem to be too worried about what Dorking have thrown at them so far in this game, as far as being potent in attack.
Bobby Joe Taylor now on that right hand side, gets in a low cross and it's straight across the face of goal. Seb Bauman was in there, Jason Pryor as well. Neither of them could get a touch, and that was a great opportunity.
Yeah, perhaps I should say that more often, because obviously that was the curse of the commentators there, saying how good Bromley have been in defence and how little or potency Dorking have had at putting pressure on their defence.
Well, they haven't had too many opportunities in this first half, but that was certainly one of them. Nice bit of work again from Bobby Joe Taylor on the right hand side, a good low cross, but there wasn't a red and white shirt to get the final touch. And Dorking Wanderers still trail here as Barry Fuller hooks it forward now. Finds Niall McManus. McManus square to Josh Taylor. Taylor now to Hayden Hollis on the Dorking Wanderers left flank, and a pass forward there from Hayden Hollis. It was, you see, was trying to do there. It was a good run from Luke Moore, but a little bit too much pace on that pass, and Lewis Thompson read it well and was able to gather the Bromley keeper.
Yeah, Luke Moore doesn't score many goals, but of course he will be well renowned for scoring one of the most important goals in Dorking's history when they won the playoff final against Ebbsfleet a couple of seasons ago. And I'm sure the Dorking fans will want another Luke Moore speciality this afternoon.
And it remains Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 1 here at the Meadowbank Stadium with 33, just after 33 minutes played here. And Dorking Wanderers very nearly gifting Bromley a goal, a second goal a few minutes ago. A mistake from Hayden Hollis after a cross from Idris Odutayo on the left-hand side. Michael Cheek was there. It wasn't the best shot from Michael Cheek. Couldn't really get any power behind it. Unfortunately for Dorking Wanderers, it was straight at Harrison Mayle, who still had to make the save, and the chance went begging for Bromley, who certainly still remain very much in control here. One opportunity for Dorking Wanderers, the closest really that they've had so far. Great bit of work from Bobby Joe Taylor on the right hand side, a low cross, but there wasn't a red and white shirt to provide the final touch. Nearly 34 minutes played here at the Meadowbank Stadium, and it remains Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 1. Plenty of goals going in around the National League this afternoon. Boreham Wood, of course, in deep trouble as well, along with Dorking Wanderers, trailing at home to Dagenham and Redbridge by 3-0. Ebbsfleet 0, Southend 1, Gateshead 1, Rochdale 0, Hartlepool 0, Halifax 0, Kidderminster 1, Altrincham 1. Kidderminster needing the points as well, of course. Maidenhead United still leading Aldershot by 2-0 as Ben Crowhouse is there for Bromley and couldn't quite get the shot away. The flag has gone up anyway. In fact, I think it might have been a free kick rather for Dorking Wanderers, so it wouldn't have counted if Crowhouse had got his shot on target. He's just hobbling a little bit there, Ben Crowhouse, as he just turned there. He's got some strapping on his left knee, the Bromley youngster.
Yeah, and the referee there not happy with Dorking for trying to get a few extra yards on their free kick, making sure that Harrison Mayle goes right back into his 18-yard box before allowing him to take that free kick.
Crowhouse has it again now and manages to hold off a couple of good challenges and releases Jude Arthurs, who brings it forward now for Bromley. Crowhouse actually down on the deck at the moment though and in some trouble, but Bromley have it still on this right hand side. The cross comes in there from Jude Arthurs, but too much pace on it and it's gone out of play for a throw into Dorking Wanderers around that far side, and Ben Crowhouse in some discomfort at the moment, and the referee just signalling the physio to come onto the field of play. He sort of clattered into a couple of challenges there with a couple of the Dorking Wanderers players, but he certainly, I think he might have got his left foot stuck as he turned away just a couple of minutes ago, Bob. He hobbled off after that.
Yeah, well, exactly. You mentioned the fact he's got strapping on his left leg, and it does look as though it's his left leg that's given out on him, because that's the physio there is giving him some treatment and obviously stretching a leg and what have you. So yeah, that does seem to be the issue here with Crowhouse and his injury. We'll obviously see in due course whether it's serious enough for him to be substituted or whether he's going to be okay to play on. But yeah, not great for the guy that was recently signed up by Brentford.
No signs of any movement on the Bromley bench at the moment, as both sets of players just head over to their respective dugouts to take on some liquid. And at the moment, Ben Crowhouse still receiving treatment from the Bromley physio, so it just gives us time to recap some of the other scores at the moment for you in the National League. Maidenhead United still leading Aldershot by 2-0. Those two early goals separating the two sides. Oldham 0, Fylde 3. Oxford City 1-0 up at home to Wealdstone. Wealdstone certainly aren't out of danger yet playing against the bottom placed side, of course, in the National League. Solihull Moor still leading Barnet by 1-0. Woking trailing at home to Eastleigh by 1-0. And York City still trailing at home to the National League champions Chesterfield.
And you mentioned there the Oxford City leading Wealdstone by 1-0. Of course, Oxford City are already doomed for relegation to National South, or I'm assuming it's National South, not National North, depending on the divide lines come the end of the season. But yeah, they're already doomed for dropping down a level, and Wealdstone are also in the mix as far as the drop zone is concerned. So I guess from a Dorking point of view, that's not a bad result or bad scoreline, should I say, so far.
Ben Crowhouse is back up on his feet, but he's hobbling very gingerly over towards the touchline. So we will have our first change of the afternoon, and an enforced one at that for the Bromley FC manager Andy Woodman, as Ben Crowhouse receives the applause from the section of Bromley supporters that have made the trip from South East London this afternoon. Plenty of support for them as well. I think they might have sold out their away allocation, just looking at the numbers here this afternoon. And confirm Ben Crowhouse's replacement in just a moment. We've got 6 minutes of the first half remaining, but of course there will be stoppage time now at the end of the opening 45 minutes. And Michael Cheek's 14th minute strike for the Ravens still divides these two sides. Looks like it's going to be Josh Passley who will be replacing Ben Crowhouse.
Substitution for Bromley in the 40th minute. The goal was number 28, Ben Crowhouse.
Previous clubs include Portsmouth and Shrewsbury. So we'll resume play very shortly with a throw for Dorking Wanderers. Midway inside their own half, away on that far side. Barry Fuller has the ball in his hands. Lays it down the line, a little flick on from Jason Pryor up towards Charlie Carter. Carter turns well, finds Luke Moore, but Luke Moore showed far too much of that. And Bromley were back in numbers to regain the possession, and they launch it forward again. Dorking have it back though now with Jason Pryor, about 10 yards or so inside the Bromley half on that far side to Josh Taylor. Pryor back to McManus. McManus now just checks back and feeds Pryor. Pryor now to Josh Taylor. Taylor back to that right hand side, picking up Bobby Joe. Taylor has Barry Fuller on the overlap, cuts onto his left foot, goes back onto his right. Bobby Joe Taylor gets in a cross from the right hand side, but it was again not the best, or maybe it's a fact that Dorking Wanderers players weren't getting in the best positions there, but the chance goes begging again.
Yeah, I'd say that was a speculative cross by Bobby Joe Taylor, hoping that someone was getting on the end of it, but yeah, cleared everyone from the defenders to the Dorking attack, and very easily away for Bromley, out of danger.
Jude Arthurs dispossesses Charlie Carter. Aidan Hollis heads it on for Dorking Wanderers. Barry Fuller in there as well. Only up as far as Byron Webster on the halfway line now for Bromley. Finds Corey Whiteley. The ball comes off his right boot and goes all the way through to Harrison Mayle.
Yeah, top striker there. Michael Cheek was a bit upset with his players then, because he was out wide on the left-hand side and felt that he was going to be in a good position there to take the ball and put some pressure on Harrison Mayle, but it didn't come to anything in the end.
20 goals for the season now for Michael Cheek. Or at Bromley, having scored that earlier goal here at the Meadowbank Stadium as Dorking Wanderers win themselves a throw-in parallel to the edge of the 18-yard box. On that far side, Josh Taylor just rubs the ball on his shirt. 5 red and white shirts lining up to receive this delivery now from Josh Taylor. Headed on by Hayden Hollis, but straight into the arms of Lewis Thomas, who gathers comfortably and rolls it out now to Alex Kirk, who will bring it forward. He's being shadowed by Jason Pryor. He now finds Josh Pasley. Dorking clear it away up to the halfway line. Charlie Carter battling for the ball there with Byron Webster, and the final touch came off Carter, and Bromley have themselves a throw taken quickly by the Ravens skipper. It's Callum Reynolds now with bringing it forward all of about 30-40 yards there, Callum Reynolds, and in the end he couldn't release an incisive pass, and Dorking were able to clear again. But Bromley, again, when they are in possession, looking very much in control. With 2 minutes of the first half remaining, but there will be some stoppage time added on at the end of the first half following that injury to Bromley's Ben Crowhouse. Here's Oduteo now, just inside his own half on that far side. Back to Callum Reynolds. Reynolds launches it forward, left to right, looking to release Alex Kirk. Kirk manages to keep the ball in play, gets it into the 18-yard box, headed clear by Hayden Hollis, but again Bromley recover possession and will look to build once again here. Byron Webster down the line, finding Kirk. Kirk looks up, left-footed, gets across into that far post. Michael Cheek heads it back to Corey Whiteley. Whiteley drives it in, and it was deflected off Tony Craig, who was getting his body on the line there, fortunately for Dorking Wanderers. Bromley still have it though. Here's Pasley to Ashley Charles. Charles now to Jude Arthurs, and the ball just rolls through and out of play for a goal kick to Dorking Wanderers. But yeah, Tony Craig in the right place at the right time there, Bob.
He was indeed, yeah. That could have been 2-0 then had Craig not had put his body on the line there to stop, which was ostensibly a goal-bound shot that I don't think Mayle would have had much chance of saving. So yeah, great defending there by the experienced Tony Craig.
Barry Fuller rather, midway inside the Bromley half on that far side, gets in a deep cross, and again too much pace on it really, as Seb Bauman struggled to keep the ball in play, and it's going to be a goal kick for Bromley. Yeah,
Seb Bauman this evening, or sorry, this afternoon so far has been pretty quiet. He's been well marked by either Crowhouse or now in this case Josh Pasley. But yeah, Bauman really hasn't contributed a lot to this game in this opening 45. We have 5 minutes of stoppage time added on at the end of the first half, signalled by the fourth official as Lewis Thomas launches it forward. It's now with Josh Pasley. Pasley couldn't get beyond Tony Craig, who was in there again to recover possession for Dorking Wanderers, and Jason Pryor wins Wanderers a free kick here. He was looking to take it quickly. He was fouled by Byron Webster, and Webster receives a yellow card for his sins for that challenge on Pryor. It was either that or not allowing Dorking Wanderers to play the ball quickly and retreat in the full 10 yards. I think that's the reason he got the booking there. Obstruction, because it was their captain that committed the foul, and then Kirk came along, tried to slow things down, and that's why the referee decided to show him a yellow card.
So free kick then for Dorking Wanderers on this near side, just about 3 or 4 yards inside from the touchline, taken by Luke Moore, drives it up to the 18-yard box, headed away by Oduteo, picked up by Josh Taylor. Bobby Joe Taylor gives it away to Idris Oduteo, who will bring it forward now for the Ravens, and picks out Olamola, who combines nicely there with Oduteo, and Jude Arthurs is up there to receive that pass, but the flag was up for offside. And so we have just over 3 minutes or so of stoppage time remaining here, and it remains Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 1. Still Michael Cheek's 14th minute goal separates these two sides. Live commentary on BBC Radio Surrey Sport online and on the mobile app. We'll run through the half-time scores in the National League for you very, very shortly, as Bromley looked to move it forward again here with Olamola, and he ran into 2 red and white shirts there and couldn't get past either of them, and Dorking Wanderers had themselves a goal kick, which is taken quickly by Harrison Mayle to Niall McManus, and again McManus with an awful pass straight to Ashley Charles, who feeds it out to that left-hand side now, finding Corey Whiteley. Whiteley tries to skip past the challenge of McManus. He squares it back now to Alex Kirk. Kirk now to this right-hand side, finding Josh Passley. Passley being policed by Seb Bauman. Has Kirk in support. Here is Kirk now. Can he get a cross in? He can from the right-hand side, but it's, well, Barry Fuller heads it out for a corner. There wasn't anybody threatening the Dorking Wanderers skipper there, but he wasn't taking any chances.
No, he wasn't. I agree, Chris. He was under no pressure there at all, but I guess in his own mind he had very little in the way of option. Of course, Dorking Wanderers do like to concede goals deep into added on time before the half-time whistle, so let's hope that run doesn't continue now.
Well, Dorking Wanderers will certainly be looking to avoid conceding a second goal at this stage of the match, as Bromley have this corner on the far side. It's towards the near post, and a little flick on there from Olamola, and some panic inside the Dorking Wanderers 6-yard area there. They managed to claw the ball away, and it's going to be another corner for Bromley, this time on this right-hand side.
Yeah, that was Jason Pryor that got the last flick on there to spare the blushes of the Dorking defence, but yeah, still under pressure with another corner. Inside
The final minute then of stoppage time, as the corner comes in again, headed clear by Barry Fuller, and knocked on again by Seb Bauman. Josh Pashley picks up the loose ball for Bromley. Now on this right-hand side is Oduteo, drifts into the 18-yard box, gets in across, left-footed off the head of Luke Moore, and Callum Reynolds with a complete air kick there, and Josh Taylor picks it up, but he gives it straight back to Callum Reynolds. Here's Alex Kirk now, gets past Josh Taylor. He did the hard bit, and then a shot left-footed, which has gone out of the ground, and that could be the final bit of action that we get at the end of this first half. But overall, Bob, how disappointed do you think Mark White will be?
Yeah, he will be disappointed, because Dorking have looked a bit frail on occasion in defence. I suppose they're only could be quite fortuitous that they're only 1 goal down. However, should the referee have blown up at the time when Jason Pryor was fouled with a push by Byron Webster. So, and there haven't really been much of a strike force. There have been very few opportunities in front of the Bromley goal, and any chances have either gone wide or caught easily by Lewis Thomas.
Well, the half-time whistle has blown here at the Meadowbank Stadium, and it is Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 1 at half-time. That goal in the 14th minute from Michael Cheek divides these two sides. A bit of controversy around that, as well as Jason Pryor appeared to be fouled in the build-up to that goal, but the referee waved away the appeals of the Dorking Wanderers players, and the ball fell to Michael Cheek, who had time and space to guide his shot beyond Harrison Mayle into the bottom right-hand corner of the net. So the Ravens with the lead at the break. We'll be back with full 90 match full match commentary, I should say, during the whole of the second half here on BBC Surrey Sport, online and on the mobile as well. But at the break here, it is Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 1. Welcome back to the Meadowbank Stadium. The second half will be getting underway very, very shortly here. Dorking Wanderers, of course, trailing at home to Bromley by a goal to 0 at the break. Let's just run through the other half-time scores for you. Borehamwood 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 4, Ebbsfleet United 0, Southend 1, Gateshead 1, Rochdale 0, Hartlepool 0, FC Halifax 0, Kidderminster 1, Altrincham 1, Maidenhead United 2, Aldershot 0, Oldham 1, AFC Fylde 3, Oxford City 1, Wealdstone 0, Solihull Moors 1, Barnet 2. Barnet turning that match around there. Woking 0, Eastleigh 1, and York City 0, Chesterfield 1. They are all the other half-time scores in the National League. And both managers and coaches make their way back towards the dugout. Here, the sun tucks itself away behind the clouds, following the earlier bright sunshine that we had a little bit earlier on. And of course, Michael Cheek's goal in the 14th minute, still the goal that divides the two sides. And Dorking Wanderers in a precarious position, as we know, of course, at the foot of the National League table, as the Bromley players just go through their warm-up process ahead of the start of the second half here. Bob Patworth is sitting alongside me this afternoon, of course, who is our expert summariser, as we provide you with full match commentary of the second half here to come on BBC Radio Surrey Sport online and on the mobile app as well. And as we alluded to, Bob, it was just a performance in the first half that lacked any sort of urgency from Dorking Wanderers.
Yeah, certainly, and we were talking during the interval there about which players were out there warming up and which players weren't, and I noted that Jimmy Mewett and Alfie Rutherford, who are on the subs bench, was noted by their absence, and as sure as night follows day, they're both coming on to start this second half. You've got Luke Moore coming off for Jimmy Mewett, and Alfie Rutherford, I'm guessing, is going to be maybe Bobby Joe Taylor, perhaps.
They're just queuing up the ball at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, because Seb Bauman's out there.
Yeah,
it is Bobby Joe Taylor. So
Bobby Joe Taylor is off. So indeed, Mark White making two substitutions at the start of the second half here. What are the thoughts around that, Bob?
I'm surprised that Bobby Joe Taylor has been substituted, because he was quite potent down the right-hand wing, and I thought perhaps that Jimmy Mewett would come down, because obviously he's suited down the right-hand side, and they would switch Bobby to the left-hand wing and take off Seb Bauman, because Seb Bauman was pretty much innocuous during that first half, and it just seemed to me the right fit, but obviously Mark's decided otherwise.
So two changes made then for Dorking Wanderers. Of course, Bromley having to make an enforced change in the first half as Ben Crowhouse sustained an injury, to be replaced by Josh Pasley, and we're up and running at the start of the second half here with Dorking Wanderers trailing here. And at the moment, in fact the flag's gone up, but a nervy moment there, because Olufela Olamola was through on goal there. It was 2 against 1, but the assistant referee on that far side, no hesitation, raised his flag, and a free kick then for Dorking Wanderers. As the ball is launched forward by Harrison Mail, Josh Taylor now picks it up on that left-hand side, inside his own half. Here's Charlie Carter now being shadowed by Jude Arthurs, still with Carter. Back to Hollis. Hollis dinks it forward, looking for the run of Jason Pryor. Pryor goes to ground, and to ironic applause from the Dorking Wanderers supporters, he's won Dorking Wanderers a free kick on their left, parallel to the edge of the 18-yard box, about 3 yards or so inside from the touchline. But Dorking Wanderers will be looking for a really positive start to the second half here. Plenty of red and white shirts arriving up from the back. It's going to be Seb Baumann to take. As it comes in from the left-hand side, and Charlie Carter's there and rose high but couldn't get a clear contact on the ball, and it's gone out of play for a goal kick. But a lively start to the second half here for Dorking Wanderers. In fact, I think the final touch has come off a Bromley player, so Dorking Wanderers have themselves a corner kick here. By all intents and purposes, the referee had signalled a goal kick.
Yep,
but they've got a corner here.
Obviously saw otherwise, saw that Bromley had the final flick. So let's see if Dorking can make something of this.
Seb Baumann delivers the corner, headed away by Michael Cheek, only up as far as Jimmy Mewett. Mewett now to Baumann on this right-hand side. Baumann with a loose pass. Josh Taylor, though, picks it up again now for Dorking Wanderers to Barry Fuller, just outside the centre circle. Feeds it out right to left. And it's gone out of play for a throw-in to Bromley, midway inside their own half on that far touchline. You're listening to live match commentary here from the Meadowbank Stadium. Dorking Wanderers against Bromley, with approaching 3 minutes of the second half played here, and Bromley still a goal to the good as it's launched forward by their skipper Byron Webster. Here is Webster again now, squares it to Callum Reynolds, who has Oduteo to his left, but Reynolds knocks it forward, finds Corey Whiteley. Whiteley back to Oduteo. Oduteo straight to Tony Craig, though. Craig now for Dorking Wanderers, midway inside his own half in the centre of the park, finds Hollis. Hollis now to Josh Taylor. Feeds it back to Harrison Mayle, who pumps it forward. Alfie Rutherford on the chase, but Alex Kirk is across to defend and pick up the ball, but it's given away by Bromley. Certainly more urgency about Dorking Wanderers at the start of this second half than there was in the whole of the opening 45 minutes of that. There's no doubt. Jimmy Mewett now on this right-hand side. The ball's deflected off Oduteo, and a throw-in for Wanderers midway inside their opponent's half on this near-side touchline, taken by Barry Fuller. Again, Jason Pryor is taken to the floor, and the referee awards a free kick to Dorking Wanderers. Callum Reynolds was the culprit. I thought he was going to dip into his back pocket for a yellow there, Bob.
Yeah, and it's just his white marker in the end there, Chris. But yeah, dangerous position there for Dorking Wanderers, just outside the 18-yard box. And well, it's going to be Seb Baumann. Let's hope he can do better with this free kick than he did with the last one.
Dorking Wanderers supporters getting into full voice now. They were a little bit muted in the opening 45 minutes, but Baumann now with this free kick. Three-man wall for Bromley. It's about, what, 25 yards or so from goal, slightly right of centre, and it's deflected off a red and white shirt as it travels to the far post, and it's going to be a goal kick for Bromley. But again, it's been a lively start from Mark Whiteside in this second period.
Yeah, that was again a rather wasted free kick opportunity there by Seb Baumann. As I mentioned earlier, he hasn't really shone in the first half, and I thought he might have been one of the casualties at the half-time change-around.
Goal kick taken by Lewis Thomas. The ball bobs around. It's an up and under there from Tony Craig, and Josh Passley is underneath it. Barry Fuller just brings the ball under control with his chest and knocks it up to the halfway line, but now here's Passley again for Boreham Wood. Ashley Charles now inside the centre circle, out to this left-hand side, finding Oduteo, competing for the ball there with Jimmy Mewett, who did well there. And Mewett won the free kick for Dorking Wanderers, which was taken quickly. Squares it to Josh Taylor. Taylor now combining again with Mewett, who cuts it inside to Charlie Carter. Carter now in the centre of the park, just getting his feet in a bit of a tangle there, but he managed to recover himself and regain possession. Seb Baumann now on the left-hand side, cuts onto his right foot. Back to Josh Taylor. Taylor now to Hayden Hollis. Hollis out to that left-hand side, finding Niall McManus. McManus to Bauman. Bauman being shadowed by Jude Arthurs. Still with Bauman. He just sunk to his knees there, Bauman, but he did well to maintain control of the ball, and Tony Craig now has it a few yards inside his own half for Dorking Wanderers. Finds Hollis. Hollis to Bauman again. On that far side, Hollis looking to release Rutherford, but Bromley regained the momentum, and it's now with Corey Whiteley, who has Michael Cheek to his right hand side. Corey Whiteley just outside the D, but Josh Taylor managed to get a little toe poke in there to divert the ball away, but the Ravens have it again with Callum Reynolds now. Reynolds has Oduteo in support, finds Corey Whiteley, who drifts into the centre of the park. Corey Whiteley forward to Cheek, and Cheek trying to release Olamola, but he overhit that pass, and it's going to be a goal kick for Dorking Wanderers.
Yeah, a bit overhit that pass there by Bromley, came to nothing, so Dorking can kind of regroup now and see if they can put more pressure on the Bromley defence.
Jason Pryor has it just outside the box, challenges for the ball with Josh Passley. Pryor has it again, Bauman back to McManus. McManus now just outside the box, releases Carter. Carter inside the area, gets in a cross, it deflected off a Bromley shirt, and Dorking Wanderers have themselves another corner here, and they're starting to rouse their supporters a little bit.
Yeah, now they're kicking towards their home fans. That certainly is an added incentive for them to try and score a goal, isn't it?
Bauman's corner, and well gathered there by Lewis Thomas. Confident bit of goalkeeping there from Thomas, who of course is making just his second appearance for Bromley this afternoon. Oduteo now on this near side, midway inside the Dorking Wanderers half, finds Ashley Charles. Charles to Olamola, back to Oduteo again. Corey Whiteley with a nice little turn. He's under pressure there from Barry Fuller, holds him off well there, Whiteley. Finds Kirk. Kirk now to that right hand side to Passley, and Passley back to his skipper Byron Webster on the halfway line. Charles for Bromley. Webster again. Webster brings it forward, picks out Passley very nicely. First time cross there from Passley from the right hand side, and Tony Craig read it well and diverted it out of play for a corner to Bromley. And they won't hurry to take this corner. 54.5 minutes played here at the Meadowbank Stadium, and Bromley still with that 1-0 advantage. Michael Cheek's 14th minute goal, still the difference between the two sides, as Oduteo places the ball onto the corner quadrant, delivers the corner, and Michael Cheek is there, but Josh Taylor with a good headed clearance. Corey Whiteley picks it up midway inside the Dorking Wanderers half, squares it to Ashley Charles. Dorking Wanderers having to defend here. Charles falls back to Whiteley. Whiteley now to this left hand side, finding Reynolds. Reynolds looks up, left footed, gets in a good cross, but it was well taken by Harrison Mayle, who releases it really quickly, and Alfie Rutherford on the chase here, and it was a first time shot there, I think, from Alfie Rutherford. I'm not sure what he was intending to do there, but it didn't have any power in it or any sort of intent, and it was straight at Lewis Thomas. It was more of a pass really than the shot, wasn't it?
Well, exactly, yeah. If it was his attempt at a speculative shot, then it was quite a weak one at that, and yeah, you could see his frustration and anger at himself there for not doing a better job at trying to put the Bromley keeper under pressure.
Alfie Rutherford with 4 goals to his credit this season for Dorking Wanderers, who have a throw-in on that far side, a few yards inside their own half, taken by Hayden Hollis. Rutherford's there, cleared away by Webster for Bromley, and Barry Fuller under pressure here from Olamola, who gets the better of the Dorking Wanderers skipper, and now Corey Whiteley inside the 18-yard box. Josh Taylor and Barry Fuller defending, but the ball's released, and well, Bromley really should have added a second there, because Dorking Wanderers gave it away, and that was a great opportunity to take a 2-goal cushion there for the Ravens, but they failed to take advantage and capitalise. But nervy moments there for Mark Whiteside, and they managed to clear it away in the end.
Well, yeah, Olamola there will be wondering how on earth he didn't score there. He was inside the 6-yard box and only had the keeper to beat, and he hit the post. So, yeah, lucky break there for Dorking in not going 2-0 down, and Bromley will feel unlucky that they didn't extend their lead.
Well, fortunately for Dorking Wanderers, Bromley failed to take advantage of that hesitation at the back there from Josh Taylor and Barry Fuller. They have a throw in, the Ravens, midway inside the Dorking Wanderers half on this near touchline. As the sun pokes its head through the clouds again here, as the cross comes in from the right-hand side, headed away by Tony Craig. Charlie Carter leaves it for Jason Pryor, and now forward by Josh Taylor to Carter, but he's dispossessed by Ashley Charles, who intercepted well, and Charles now finds Corey Whiteley. Whiteley cuts inside onto his right foot to Olamola, and now Oduteo. Olamola again, combining with Oduteo, who gets in across on the left-hand side. It's too deep, and Seb Bauman is across to head it out of play for a throw-in to Bromley, just about 4 or 5 yards or so inside from the corner flag, and it looks like a further substitution about to be made here by Dorking Wanderers. Tom Blair looks like he will enter the fray, and it's going to be Seb Bauman who makes way. So that's a third change of the afternoon made by Mark White. Tom Blair, of course, who was another player who came in for some notable criticism from Mark White following that heavy defeat at Barnet last weekend, as the throw-in's taken here by Bromley, by Pasley. And now here's Jude Arthurs, digs out a cross, and it bounced off Niall McManus and very nearly into the path of Olamola, but it rolled out of play, and it's going to be a goal kick for Dorking Wanderers as we approach the hour mark here, and it remains Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 1. Live commentary here on BBC Radio Surrey Sport Online and on the mobile app. Jason Pryor dispossessed. Josh Pasley now will bring it forward, being shadowed by Tom Blair. Gets across in from the right-hand side. Tony Craig's there as cover for Dorking Wanderers, who managed to clear it away, but again, Bromley, the momentum is with the visitors, who have possession again. Ashley Charles wins a throw-in, which is taken quickly, and he finds Josh Pasley. Pasley being shadowed by Niall McManus. The ball deflects very kindly off McManus back into the path of Pasley again. The shot comes in there, and it's off the bar from Cheek. Bromley denied by the woodwork. The shot initially from Olamola. The ball then bounced up for Michael Cheek, who headed onto the bar, and Dorking Wanderers were able to clear, and that really should have been 2-0.
Yeah, and Mark White's obviously not happy looking at his reaction on the sidelines there, and certainly it's a good passage of play in the last 5 minutes or so for Bromley.
And Olamola trying to feed Jude Arthurs there. Harrison Mayle came out and retrieved the ball well. But again, that was a golden opportunity for Andy Woodman's side to put some daylight between themselves and Dorking Wanderers.
Yeah, they've hit the post and they've now hit the bar, so yeah, they could have been 3-0 up, but it's still just 1-0, so Dorking are hanging on in there.
We've passed the hour mark here, and all the time that it remains 1-0, there's still hope for Dorking Wanderers, but of course just 5 more matches of the season remaining after this encounter. No change at all, Rob. That's the way it remains. Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 1, but Bromley very, very nearly doubling their lead just a minute or so ago. A shot initially there from Olufela Olamola. It was cleared by Dorking Wanderers, but the ball bounced into the path of Michael Cheek, who headed against the crossbar, and Wanderers were able to clear. But Bromley certainly looking the more likely to score in this second half. We've had some substitutions made by Dorking Wanderers at the start of the second half. Alfie Rutherford and Jimmy Murritt coming on for Bobby Joe Taylor and Luke Moore, and Tom Blair has just replaced Seb Bauman as well. But Dorking still behind here. It's Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 1. Ashley Charles couldn't get past Josh Taylor. He's recovered the ball though, Ashley Charles, on this left hand side. Cross comes in, headed clear by Jimmy Murritt to Niall McManus, who then clears it out of play for a throw into Dorking Wanderers, in fact, as the ball deflected off a Bromley shirt. So Dorking Wanderers with a throw in about 10 yards or so inside their opponent's half on this near side, taken by Barry Fuller. Tom Blair trying to hold it up. Couldn't get past, well, 3 Bromley shirts there who managed to clear it away, and Olamola challenging for the ball again here, and Tony Craig just guiding the pass back to Harrison Mail, who launches his clearance out of play for a throw to Bromley. 5 yards or so inside their own half, and another change being made by Andy Woodman. It'll be the second of the afternoon for the Ravens. Of course, Ben Crowhouse went off injured in the first half and was replaced by Josh Pasley. And it looks like Olufela Olamola is coming off, and he's going to be replaced by David Aziaya. In fact, it's Will Davis who replaces Olamola. Will Davis, of course, who was signed within the last 24 hours or so, Bob.
Yeah, he's on loan from York City. He started the season at Braintree, scored goals as if they're going out of fashion, and then York came on the radar, York City, and they picked him up under their previous manager Neil Ardley, and now York City are under the tutorship of Adam Hinshelwood. Feels he's subject to requirements and put him out on loan.
Approaching 64 minutes played here. Dorking Wanderers still trailing by a goal to 0. There's Byron Webster now, midway inside his own half in the centre of the park, out to this left-hand side to Callum Reynolds. Reynolds looks up, squares it to Ashley Charles. Charles forward to Michael Cheek, who was fouled there. A little nudge in the back there from Barry Fuller, so a free kick for the Ravens, midway or so inside the Dorking Wanderers half. It's taken quickly by Ashley Charles, a little bit too quickly actually, because he caught Corey Whiteley off guard. And now Wanderers with a throw right in front of us here from our vantage point in the Stonegate home stand. Jimmy Murritt leaves it for Barry Fuller. Fuller looking to pick out Murritt, headed on by Charlie Carter. Murritt again gets past Odutoya, and a cross on the right hand side. Tom Blair was lurking there, couldn't get a final touch, and it's gone out of play for a throw into Bromley on the far side. But Jimmy Murritt certainly has looked very lively in this second period for Dorking Wanderers. Charlie Carter chests it down now for Noel McManus, but they couldn't get past the Bromley rearguard, who defend well, and they've won themselves a throw-in midway inside their own half. Tell you that York City have equalised at home to Chesterfield. One apiece there now. Woking still trailing at home to Eastleigh. Wildstone still 1 down at Oxford City. Kidderminster now trailing at home to Altrincham by 2-1. And Bournemouth still losing heavily at home to Dagenham and Redbridge at Meadow Park by 4-1. Dorking Wanderers have a throw on that far side, midway inside their own half, taken by Hollis. Jude Arthis knocks it forward though for Bromley. It's backed by Tony Craig to Harrison Mayle, who had to make a very quick clearance there. Harrison Mayle, he was under pressure from Will Davis. Passley now for Bromley, who have earned themselves a free kick about 7 or 8 yards or so inside the Dorking Wanderers half on the Bromley right.
Yeah, certainly Bromley have been putting the Dorking goal under a lot of pressure in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Dorking haven't been able to respond in a positive way. They've tried to attack, but unfortunately the defence of Bromley have thwarted any attempts to get past the halfway line on a regular basis.
Passley squares it to Charles. Plenty forward for Bromley. Shot comes in from Charles from distance, and he forced Harrison Mayle into having to tip that shot over the bar. Good effort there from all of about 30 yards from Ash Charles.
Yeah, fantastic effort there by Ashley Charles, dipping effort, and Harrison Mayle at last minute realised it was probably goal bound and had to make a corrective save to tip it over the bar and concede a corner. But yeah, good effort there from Ashley Charles.
Harrison Mayle, who's been one of the standout players this season for Dorking Wanderers in between the sticks, there's no doubt about that. So what can Bromley conjure up from this corner? Header comes in and it's gone wide. I think it was Callum Reynolds who got the header there but couldn't direct it towards goal. Dorking Wanderers clear it quickly. Alfie Rutherford on the run, and the ball's out of play for a throw in two. Wanderers parallel to the 18-yard box on that far side. Alfie Rutherford leaves it for Josh Taylor. Plenty up forward now for Dorking Wanderers as they look to try and get back on level terms here at the Meadowbank Stadium. Throw comes in from Taylor, headed clear by Byron Webster, only up as far as Tom Blair. To Taylor, back to Blair again. Blair with a right-footed cross, it's deflected off a Bromley shot. Alfie Rutherford's there and drags it wide of the right-hand post. And that was a great opportunity for Mark Whiteside to get back on level terms here.
Yeah, Alfie Rutherford certainly the best opportunity in the game so far, and it's taken them nearly 70 minutes. Clear on goal, and yeah, he managed to drag it wide, and you could see his frustration with the fact he put his hands up to his head and holding his head, thinking, oh my goodness, what have I done here? And obviously opportunities haven't come very easily in this game for Dorking, and that one's gone begging.
Yeah, Alfie Rutherford's going to be bitterly disappointed that he didn't find the target there. A golden chance for Dorking Wanderers. They haven't had too many of those in this match this afternoon, as Rutherford has it again now and couldn't get beyond Callum Reynolds, but in fact the ball deflects off Reynolds, so a corner for Dorking as the Wanderers faithful try and lift their side once again and lift them to an equalising goal here. Seb Bauman will take the corner on that far side. In it comes. Headed back in by Jimmy Mewett, but only into the side netting. Failed to trouble Lewis Thomas, and that's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, good build up there. Probably from the in practice they've done that, but yes, far post, Jimmy Mewett unmarked, but unfortunately just couldn't get the power or the angle to trouble the Bromley goalkeeper Lewis Thomas, and out for a goal kick, much to the relief of the Bromley defence and the Bromley fans that have trekked their way from that part of Kent today.
Shade under 20 minutes of normal time remaining here. Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 1. Live commentary here on BBC Radio Surrey Sport, online and on the mobile app. And of course, don't worry, you can tune into Tim Durran's, of course, between 5 and 6 on BBC Radio Surrey, bringing you great music and further sports updates when we're finished this afternoon. Still plenty to look forward to. Quick turnaround, of course, with a full programme of matches taking place on Bank Holiday Monday. Dorking Wanderers making the trip to Aldershot, and Bromley at home to Woking. The match is running out at the moment for Dorking Wanderers, who went into this fixture, of course, 4 points adrift of safety. As Bromley have a throw in deep inside their opponent's half, taken by Passley, finds Jude Arthurs. Arthurs combining with Passley, who tries to get past Tom Blair and gets beyond Blair, still with Passley, and the ball's deflected off Seb Bauman, or Niall McManus I should say. It's going to be a corner for Bromley with 18 minutes remaining here at the Meadowbank Stadium, and you just sense, Bob, that Dorking need to keep it at 1-0, because a second goal for Bromley, you can't really see Dorking coming back from that.
Not at this stage of the game, no.
As the corner comes in, the header back across goal, in fact it's in, and it's Callum Reynolds with a header at the far post from the corner there from Idris Oduteo. Bromley had themselves a 2-goal lead, and it's a long way back now for Mark Whiteside. Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 2.
Yeah, well, we're just saying in the build-up there they don't want to concede, and curse of the commentators, dare I say it, they do concede. Yeah, well-worked goal, must be a training ground exercise there to the far post, and there was Callum Reynolds, unmarked, easily steering it into the back of the net. And yeah, with 20 odd minutes or so, less than to go, it's going to take an absolute mountain for Dorking to climb to get anything out of this game this afternoon, bearing in mind they haven't really had that many opportunities when the game was even at 1-0.
Well, Bromley with a comfortable 2-goal cushion then. Of course, they've won the last 3 head-to-heads between these two sides, most recently back in October. And Bromley have a 2-goal lead here now. It's Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 2. A corner from the right-hand side taken by Idris Oduteo, and Callum Reynolds completely unmarked at the far post with a header beyond Harrison Mail. It's a long way back for now for Dorking Wanderers, who trail here by 2-0. Dorking Wanderers heading towards what would be a 12th home defeat of the season, and really, Bob, that has been crucial to Dorking's season, isn't it? Their performances at home compared to last season, of course, when I think they had the 8th best home record in the National League, because the away record, they've been playing pretty well on their travels, but the home performances just haven't been up to scratch, and that's what's left them in this situation.
Yeah, it's a complete reverse of last season, their respective home and away forms. And certainly when you remember back to February time, when Ebbsfleet came here, it was going to be a big game. 2 sides in the bottom, and they thought they were going to, and they got absolutely hammered, didn't they, Dorking, that day?
4-1 that afternoon as the cross comes in there from Alfie Rutherford to Jason Pryor, and it came off his right boot and drifted wide of Lewis Thomas's left-hand post with under 15 minutes remaining. But again, it was a chance for Dorking Wanderers to reduce the deficit. They've got to be taking those opportunities, but the chance goes begging again. And
well, yeah, that pretty much sums up their afternoon, isn't it? Another outstretched leg there, this time by Jason Pryor, just couldn't connect, and the ball went quite easily out for a goal kick for Bromley. But yeah, it just things, the rub of the green isn't going their way, is it?
It certainly hasn't been the most energetic performance from Dorking Wanderers this afternoon, albeit against a very, very good Bromley side, of course. Wanderers have a throw-in on that far side, taken by Hayden Hollis. It's headed out by Josh Passley for another throw for Wanderers again. Hollis has the ball in his hands, looks to pick out Rutherford. They're edging themselves further into Bromley territory here. Dorking Wanderers with another throw, and this time it's going to be Josh Taylor to take. But the omen's certainly not looking good for Dorking Wanderers now for the remainder of this season, as the throwing comes in for Josh Taylor. Charlie Carter's there, and the ball is deflected off a Bromley shirt, so Wanderers have themselves a corner. The minutes and the seconds are ticking by, and they are heading towards what would be a 23rd defeat of the season, as the corner comes in from Seb Bauman. It's a decent one and a header over the bar from Jason Pryor, just inches over.
Yeah, just again, probably one of their best opportunities, but this time just over the bar. At least it was a half decent header by Pryor on goal, but again, that just not going the right side of them. But you know, you have to wonder, are they actually going to score this afternoon? They've shown a lot of promise, but when it's come to the final 10 yards or so, they just haven't delivered.
I think Jason Pryor will be bitterly disappointed that he didn't at least force Lewis Thomas into action with that header from that Bauman corner. With just over 12 minutes of normal time remaining here, and it's Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 2. Michael Cheek, of course, giving Bromley the lead in the 14th minute, guiding his shot beyond Harrison Mayle, and the Ravens doubling their lead with a header from Callum Reynolds from an Idris Oduteo corner. One of their players is down at the moment, Bromley, and just requiring some treatment from the Bromley physio. I'm understanding, just hearing that Aldershot have been reduced to 9 men. They've 2 sendings off for Aldershot Town this afternoon. They trail at Maidenhead by 3-0. Full commentary of that match with Rob Worrell on the Good Friday Sports Special on BBC Radio Surrey and BBC Radio Sussex. Jude Arthurs was the man receiving treatment there. He's just walked off to the touchline, and we'll resume play here with a free kick for Dorking Wanderers about 5 yards or so inside the Bromley half. Taken by Tom Blair. Jimmy Murritt will pick up the loose ball inside the 18-yard box. Gets a cross in, but too many Bromley bodies in the way. And Wanderers have themselves another corner. Tom Blair sprints over to place the ball down on the quadrant here, and he'll take this corner kick. Dorking Wanderers players jockeying for position as the corner comes in, and Charlie Carter's up there with a header, and Jason Pryor with a header in the end, which forced a very smart save there from Lewis Thomas to deny him for another corner.
I thought it was one of the Bromley's players there that made Thomas make that fantastic save there. I thought it was perhaps their captain, Brian Webster, that got on the end of that. So yeah, quite a spectacular save either way.
Corner's come in from Seb Bauman and clutched out of the air there by Lewis Thomas. You could be right there, Bob. Plenty of bodies in the box there. But Lewis Thomas, he hasn't had much to do this afternoon, but he had to be fully alert there with a save to his right-hand side, clawing the ball away to deny Dorking Wanderers a certain goal. And we're inside the final 10 minutes here. Here's Oduteo now on this left-hand side, finding Whiteley. Whiteley forced back there by Charlie Carter, but Whiteley retains possession, finds Kirk. Kirk now out to the right-hand side, finding Passley. Passley just drifts into the 18-yard box. His attempted cross bounces off Seb Bauman. Ashley Charles picks up the loose ball now and will bring it forward for the Ravens. Midway inside the Dorking half. Finds Passley inside the 18-yard box, and now Jude Arthurs. Trying to work the ball away on that right-hand side, Bromley. There's Michael Cheek, who just dummies it and leaves it for Davies, who in turn leaves it now for Oduteo. Oduteo cues it up onto his right foot just outside the box. It took a heavy deflection off a Dorking shirt, and the danger's still not cleared yet for Wanderers as Charlie Carter finally finds it. Alfie Rutherford, who wasn't on the same wavelength there as Josh Taylor, and Ashley Charles will pick it up again now for Bromley. To Alex Kirk on that right-hand side is Charles again. Bromley will not need to make any urgent rash mistakes because they're comfortably in control here. Still leading by 2-0. Oduteo now will bring it forward from the halfway line. Jimmy Murritt commits the foul, and the free kick goes the way of the Ravens. Midway inside the Dorking Wanderers half, just slightly left of centre.
Yeah, certainly Bromley in the last 5 or so minutes look very comfortable, haven't they, up front there, just happy to pass the ball. They got the 2-0 lead. If they get the opportunity to find a bit of space and score a third, then so be it. But yeah, Dorking don't seem to be in the mood for marking them man for man, just happy to give them the space and let them try and build up.
Free kick's taken by Oduteo. Swings it in left-footed into the danger zone, hooked away by Tom Blair. Alfie Rutherford having his shirt tugged there by Alex Kirk. Ball's up in the air, falls nicely to Jimmy Murritt, but first time pass there from Murritt, just straight towards the Bromley skipper Byron Webster. Jimmy Murritt will bring it forward again now, and he's fouled there by Callum Reynolds, and the referee, no hesitation there from Aaron Farmer, issues a yellow card there to Callum Reynolds for that foul on Jimmy Murritt. No doubt about that one.
Yeah, I always worry when I see players go down in tackles like that. Jimmy fortunately isn't injured at all. He can get up and hobble into position, but yes, certainly a yellow card there for Callum Reynolds. And let's see if Blair on the ball can do something with this wicketing free kick.
Blair with the free kick then towards the far post. Headed all the way by the Ravens. Ball's bouncing about inside the 18-yard box though. And it's a hash clearance in the end there from Alex Kirk, and Dorking Wanderers have themselves a corner on that far side with 6 minutes of normal time remaining here, and it's Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 2. Bromley will be consolidating that third spot in the National League come 5 o'clock this afternoon, unless Dorking Wanderers can perform some kind of miracle in the remaining few minutes of this game. Seb Bauman will take the corner again here. Swings it in from that far side, and again it bounced through a crowd of players, and it's gone out of play for a goal kick to Bromley.
Yeah, I was just going to mention earlier on there when the ball was floated in by Blair and it was popping up in the air. Barry Fuller, the captain, was basically being sandwiched by 3 taller Bromley players. I mean, Barry Fuller isn't the tallest of players, but there's no way he was going to win that battle against 3 Bromley defenders.
This afternoon's attendance has just been given 2,875, I believe, which is a fantastic turnout for a Good Friday afternoon. And applause from the Dorking Wanderers supporters on hearing that attendance figure. Seb Bauman has it. Back to Hayden Hollis. Hollis with a clearance straight to Callum Reynolds, but Niall McManus makes the interception and now feeds Jimmy Murritt on this right hand side. Murritt now cuts inside, back to Josh Taylor. Has Barry Fuller ahead of him, finds Murritt instead. Murritt now to Josh Taylor again, who just to the edge of the 18-yard box. He went for a left-footed shot, but it It was blocked, and Barry Fuller gives the ball away, and now Will Davies, making his debut of course for Bromley this afternoon, has the ball just outside the Dorking box, cuts inside onto his right foot, and a shot that just goes wide of Harrison's Mail's right hand post. But I think the Dorking Wanderers keeper actually getting fingertips to that to deny the Bromley striker, and a corner for Bromley.
Yeah, he couldn't take a risk there, Harrison Mail, as to whether it was going to be the right or the wrong side of the upright. Obviously tipped it away to give the opposition a corner. See if they can make something of this like they did with the last corner where they scored.
Yeah, easy to see from our vantage point, but I think that ball was either going to just spin off the outside of the post or go wide, but Harrison Mail not taking any chances, and the corner's taken short. In fact, it's gone out of play now for a throw into Bromley, just a couple of yards or so inside from the corner flag on this near side, in front of the travelling Ravens support this afternoon that have added to that terrific attendance at the Meadowbank Stadium with under 3 minutes remaining. And I think there's another name that's gone in the book there. It's Jude Arth. In fact, it's Idris Oduteo for time wasting, I would have thought. With just seconds remaining. And Ashley Charles is there as well, and the ball deflects off the Bromley midfielder, and there's going to be a goal kick for Dorking Wanderers. Big game coming up then on Monday for Mark Whiteside at Aldershot. Of course, are suffering a heavy defeat this afternoon at York Road against Maidenhead United, where they're losing 4-0 and down to 9 men as well. And Charlie Carter, well, I thought he fouled Jude Arthurs there, but he's one possession back for Dorking Wanderers and finds Jimmy Mewett now on this right flank. Mewett being shallowed by Oduteo and Whiteley as well, and the ball bounces off Whiteley for a throw into Dorking Wanderers deep inside their opponent's half. Jude Arthurs still on the floor at the moment. Did you see that challenge there, Bob? What's your take on that?
No, I didn't. I just saw obviously he and Charlie Carter went for the ball, and he kind of like fell, but it's obviously the second time in the space of about 10-15 minutes that he's gone down, suffering for something, and it makes you wonder if he's going to be taken off and someone else brought on.
Jude Arthurs is back up on his feet again, and so we'll resume play here with a throw in for Wanderers deep inside the Bromley half. Josh Taylor to take. Jude Arthurs in fact is coming off now after that challenge. He's been replaced by Carmyle Grant. Third change made for Bromley this afternoon. At the moment, heading towards all 3 points here in Surrey, as the throw comes in from Josh Taylor, flicked on by Charlie Carter, headed clear by Bromley only temporarily though. Shot comes in from Seb Bauman, it's deflected off a Bromley shirt, and it falls invitingly for them as well, and Michael Cheek will bring it away, but he overran the ball a little bit there, and Jimmy Mewett took advantage. There is a Bromley player down on the deck inside the 18-yard box at the moment, following that shot from Seb Bauman.
Well, obviously the home fans feel that it's wrong.
The official has indicated that they've got 5 minutes at the end of the game, 5 additional minutes at the end of the match.
5 additional minutes at the end of this match. We've reached the 90. And Bromley just winding down the clock here as they head towards what would be an 8th victory on the road this season. Byron Webster was the man who was in the way of that Seb Bauman shot, and he's sitting back up again now. Let's just run through some of the other latest scores for you in the National League whilst we have a pause in play here. Not too many other goals to tell you about. Bournemouth 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 4 is how it remains. Ebbsfleet have equalised at home to Southend. Gateshead still 1-0 up at home to Rochdale. Hartlepool still 1-up at home to FC Halifax. Kidderminster now trailing Altrincham by 3 goals to 1. Maidenhead United beating 9-man Aldershot by 4 goals to 0. Oldham 1, Fylde 3. Oxford City still 1-up at home to Wealdstone. Solihull 2, Barnet 2. What a cracking game that is between two sides vying for promotion this season. Woking still trailing at home to Eastleigh by a goal to 0. And York turned it around against the champions Chesterfield. They now lead by 2 goals to 1 as the drop ball was taken. And Barry Fuller lays it back to Harrison Mayle. Mayle clears his lines. Charlie Carter is underneath it, but it's headed out of play by Callum Reynolds, and a throw in for Dorking Wanderers midway inside the Bromley half on this near side touchline as Jimmy Merritt just spins the ball up to Josh Taylor, who will take this. And we have just under 3 minutes of stoppage time remaining now, and Charlie Carter again having his shirt tugged there. Shot comes in from Barry Fuller, took a heavy deflection. Dorking Wanderers still have possession now with Charlie Carter, finds McManus. McManus now to Josh Taylor. Taylor into the 18-yard box to Barry Fuller, but Ashley Charles was strong in his tussle for the ball there with Fuller and got the better of the Dorking Wanderers skipper, and Will Davies is away there. He's being challenged for the ball by both Jimmy Merritt and Tom Blair, and the Dorking Wanderers duo get the better of him and bring the ball away. It's played forward there by Blair, and well, Alfie Rutherford, the flag has stayed down and the shot is straight at the keeper. I think most of us here were expecting an offside decision there, but what an opportunity again there for Alfie Rutherford.
Yeah, very bizarre. That's, I think that everyone, apart from the linesman, thought that was going to be offside. So, yeah, a bit of a relief, and they've got a corner from it, Dorking.
Seb Bauman takes the corner. Lewis Thomas is there, tries to punch it away. Shot comes in from Josh Taylor. The ball's bobbling about inside the 6-yard box. A little back heel there from Charlie Carter, but in the end Lewis Thomas gathers the ball, and that may be the last opportunity of note for Dorking Wanderers to get anything out of this match this afternoon.
Yeah, it's certainly the game now is in its dying embers, and yeah, I think Dorking have had their opportunities to try and pull a goal back before that even equalised, but yeah, it looks like they're heading for yet another home defeat. And to be honest with you, it was always going to be difficult against a side that are on form and vying for a playoff place.
Yeah, Andy Woodman has certainly worked his magic at Bromley over the last, three or four seasons or so that he's been at the helm. Of course, finished 7th in the National League last season. Bromley knocked out in the semi-finals of the playoffs by Chesterfield. As the ball is crossed in for Dorking Wanderers, a shot comes in from Tony Craig, left-footed, but it's over the angle of bar and post and into the Dorking Wanderers supporters, packed away over to our right-hand side. And we have 20 seconds of stoppage time remaining here.
And that effort there by Tony Craig pretty much sums up Dorking's afternoon, in the sense that he had a good opportunity, but the ball went sailing over the bar and didn't really trouble Lewis Thomas in the Bromley goal.
Goal kick's taken by Lewis Thomas. Whistle's blown for a free kick to Dorking, to Bromley rather, I should say. About 5 yards or so inside the Wanderers half on the Bromley right for that foul on Michael Cheek, who of course has taken his tally to 20 goals for the season after that first half opener for the Ravens. Byron Webster it is who will take the free kick for the visitors. Will Davies is underneath it, but Harrison Mayle claims well and releases the ball quickly. Jason Pryor on the chase. Jimmy Merritt is there as well, and the ball deflects off Merritt for a throw in to Bromley deep inside their own half. certainly past stoppage time. The 5 minutes of allotted stoppage time added on at the end of the second half. Another free kick here for Bromley as Carmyle Grant goes down this time. And just a little bit of indiscipline in the Dorking Wanderers ranks at the moment, and a yellow card for that challenge as well. Couldn't quite see who it was because our view is slightly obscured from our vantage point in the Stonegate homestand. But so an opportunity here for Bromley, and a final opportunity. Surely this has got to be the final passage of play in this match this afternoon to add to their lead. And we are deep into stoppage time here. It remains Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 2. As Bromley have possession now away to our left-hand side. Ashley Charles is there. The ball deflects off of Bromley's shirt. It's going to be a goal kick for Dorking Wanderers. It's going to be quickly taken by Harrison Mayle. We're already past the 2 minutes of allotted stoppage time, and the final whistle is blown by referee Aaron Farmer, and Dorking Wanderers go down to defeat once again here at the Meadowbank Stadium. It's their 12th home defeat of the season. They've been beaten here by Bromley by 2-0. Michael Cheek opened the scoring in the first half. A little bit of controversy around that goal as Jason Pryor appeared to be fouled in the build-up. The ball in the end finally came to Cheek, who got it a right-footed shot beyond Harrison Mayle to make it Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 1. The further best chances came the way of the visitors in the first half, and they extended their lead in the 73rd minute. A corner from Idris Oduteo from the right-hand side. Dorking Wanderers failed to deal with it, and Callum Reynolds was there unmarked with a header at the far post to guide it beyond Harrison Mayle to give us a final score here of Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 2. And the final thoughts now of Bob Patworth.
Yeah, well, I suppose coming into today's game, it was always going to be tough for Dorking Wanderers. Bromley are one of the form teams. They're also a team that are looking for promotion via the playoffs, and so it happened. Dorking really didn't have many opportunities in this game to dominate, and going by the form book, the right side won. As far as Dorking is concerned, it just puts them even more in the danger for the relegation zone with only 5 games to go.
So Dorking Wanderers beaten again. It's a real fight for survival now for Mark White's side. Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 2. So that concludes our commentary here on BBC Radio Surrey Sport this afternoon here at the Meadowbank Stadium as Dorking Wanderers go down to defeat once again. Next up, of course, a trip to Aldershot on Monday. We will be across that match for you here on BBC Radio Surrey Sport. Let's just run through the full-time scores for you in the National League. Borehamwood 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 4, Ebbsfleet United 1, Southend 1, Gateshead 1, Rochdale 0, Hartlepool 1, FC Halifax 0, Kidderminster 1, Altrincham 3, Maidenhead United 4, Aldershot Town 0. Aldershot reduced to 9 men in that game. Oldham 1, Fylde 3, Oxford City 1, Wealdstone 0, Solihull Moors 2, Barnet 2, Woking 0, Eastleigh 1, and York City 2, Chesterfield 1. They had trailed in that game, but they have beaten the champions this afternoon. So just a quick look at the table. At the bottom of the table, of course, Dorking Wanderers still 1 off the foot of the table on 42 points. 5 points adrift of safety now. Also in the relegation zone at the moment, of course, Borehamwood and Kidderminster Harriers. Oxford City are already down. Many thanks to Bob Patworth for our expert analysis this afternoon. Dorking Wanderers suffer yet another defeat here, and the survival Well, their hopes of survival in the National League continue. Final score here at the Meadowbank Stadium: Dorking Wanderers 0, Bromley 2.